Hi, my name is Jodi, and I'm from New Jersey. Today I'm going to speak a little bit about Pilates, the benefits, and then I'm going to give you, at this point, maybe a half-hour workout. You can join us. If you plan on joining, before you listen, I do recommend that you grab a rolled-up bath towel, especially for those with neck issues, or if you're not used to working out or doing Pilates, I don't want you to strain your neck. So this will be useful in the event you need it, okay? And also, you want a Pilates mat. That helps your back. So while I talk about Pilates, if you want, you can run and go grab those two things, those two items, and then come back and join us. So what I want to explain about Pilates. Pilates is a controlled systematic workout, meaning the movements, and you're going to see very shortly, when you're moving in a very controlled manner, as opposed to just swinging the body around. So I worked on multiple for 15 years, worked out at the gym, which is fine. Moving is great. When I had gotten hit by a car about 15 years ago, now about 15 years ago, that's when I was introduced to Pilates. Sometimes we have injuries or just getting older. We can't do the boot camp classes. I know I can't. Hi, welcome guys. If you just joined, I recommend grabbing a rolled up towel. So going back to that, I was introduced to Pilates through an injury. Through my journey, I saw my body develop into a stronger, healthier body. I also learned how to move in a safe and effective way. So that's what I really loved about Pilates. It's safe and effective. You don't have to worry about getting hurt. If you have the right instructor, the cues help you. And normally in a class, we're watching you and making sure that you're moving right. Today, we're just going to move. I want you to have fun with it, but also be mindful. Pilates also works different set of muscles. So you're going to work the tiny muscles that are near the bone, as opposed to when you're lifting weights or other workouts. Those are the bigger muscles on the outside. That's why bodybuilders tend to bulk. You get really cut, which is also great. Pilates is a little different. You're going to feel today really deep in your muscles, these muscles that are attached to the bone. So if your muscles are getting strong and supporting your bones, to me, it feels like I put glue on my bones. So if we have any misalignments, any herniations, just as we get older, our bones get weaker. So that's why it's really important to do Pilates. I'm actually stronger now at the age of 46 than I was at 25. So with that said, let's get started. Okay, if you have your towel, just keep it nearby in the event you need it. And I'll show you when that would be. Just gonna fix my camera a moment, okay? And I'm gonna go slow and we're gonna work smart, right? Because there's moving and then there's moving without purpose. And hopefully my cues can really make you understand the method of Pilates. There's an entire method, it's controlled. So sitting here, I want your feet nice and planted on the floor. This is called a half roll down. I just want you to find the connection. That's what it does. That's what I will help you find. Place your hands under your thighs, but you're not gripping like this. Don't hold on for dear life, okay? I'm gonna move my arms up so you can see my abdominals. You're gonna curl the tailbone and at the same time, pull your belly in, right? And then pull the belly in to lift up. But notice, I'm not doing this. We're really finding, this is your powerhouse right here. Pull the belly in as if you were taking a selfie on the beach. It's a really good analogy, right? That's what we do. I know myself, I hold my abs in and pull up. Okay, again, this is gonna be beginner because I don't know my audience. And even if you do work out, these are different set of muscles, okay? You can always challenge yourself by going lower, but not necessary. More importantly, right here, pull the belly in. You're not using the upper body, right? And your hands are just staying here for support. So if you work deep, you're gonna feel this deep, you're lifting from here. 3 more, right? Shoulder blades down, important that we're not up here. And you don't have to be perfect today. If I told you how many years I had to train and educate myself to understand movement, you'd be surprised. It's not as easy as it seems. Last one, curl the tailbone. Again, pull the belly in to lift up. I hope you found that connection. The movement is not from the upper body. Now we're gonna lie all the way down. This is where you may need your towel. So if you find, we're gonna do an ab series. If you find that your neck is bothering you, I want you to place this on, not under your neck, but on the nook of your skull. So make sure it's not under your neck, it's on the nook of your skull. You can stay with your feet on the mat, especially if when we lift our legs up, if you find that your back, your abs aren't strong enough to support your back, there is no problem with keeping your feet on the mat. I'm gonna bend my knees in. So this might be difficult for somebody to keep their tailbone down. If you find that, just keep your feet on the mat, doesn't matter. Okay, I'm gonna bend my knees in. I'm gonna lift my head, neck, and shoulders. Notice my shoulders are off the mat and reach your arms forward. So make sure that you're not here. You wanna pull the shoulder blades down your back, and that'll help you stay out of your neck. Reach your legs up to the ceiling. This is called 100. You may have heard of it. Now you're going to pulse the arms. Inhale, but notice how it's very controlled. You don't want to look like a fish out of water with your neck. Your back doesn't move. You're going to inhale big, look down at your belly button. Exhale, draw your breath all the way into the back of the mat. Right? And keep this movement. So sometimes just holding your back up is difficult. The goal is to not bop your head, not bop the shoulders. Your body stays completely still. Inhale. Exhale. I want you to draw that belly down deep into the mat. Make sure that tailbone's heavy, right? You're not here and you're not here. That's more advanced. Again, inhale and exhale. Draw those shoulder blades down your back. Try to look down at your abdominals and not at me for this, just so that you don't strain your neck. Again, there's no shame with keeping your head on the mat. Last 10 breaths. Inhale and exhale. Now hold your pulse. Now I want you to just reach forward and hold that for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax the head. You're going to bend your right knee in, left leg out. Very important that you have a rotation in your hip and that you're not straight on. That way you don't work your hip flexors. So soften your knee. Don't lock your joints out. Place your right hand on your knee and left hand. You're going to curl up, shoulder blades down, and switch, and switch, and switch. Again, if you're just starting out, you might feel that you're using your neck, and that's natural because your core, your powerhouse isn't developed yet. So again, it's okay. Keep your head down. Pull the belly in, right? You're not just grabbing the knees. You're pulling your belly in. You have to, with Pilates, you have to think about what you're doing. Don't just move. 3, 2, 1. Bend the knees in. Relax the head. Tailbone's heavy. Now I want you to reach your fingers above your knees. Tailbone heavy. Lift your head, neck, and shoulders. Hold it here. Your arms come up. You circle out and around. But notice my back doesn't move. This is really difficult. Pull the belly in. Just make sure you're breathing. I don't want to focus too much on breath, but just make sure you're breathing. As you understand Pilates, then you start really incorporating the breath. I find if I throw too much at somebody, it gets confusing. But notice, keep your shoulders off. Notice I'm not lowering down. 3 more. Pull the belly in. 2. This should burn. 1. Hold it here. Shoulder blades down. And relax the head. You should have felt a really deep burn in those abs. All right. Right leg up, left leg out. You want that rotation. Lift your head, neck, and shoulders, and draw your shoulder blades down. You need to switch legs, and switch, and switch. Very important that your tailbone doesn't lift off the mat. If your head is bothering you, your neck, place your hands behind your head. If you are doing that, make sure you feel your head on your hands. Don't pull on your neck. And 3, 2, 1. Bring the feet together. Relax the head for a moment. Okay. Now this next move has nothing to do with the legs. This is why Pilates takes a lot of concentration. You have to think about what you're doing and what muscle is driving the move. And it's a good thing to concentrate because within the hour of class, normally it's an hour, 55 minutes, it takes care of anxiety because you can't think about anything else. You really concentrate and connect with your body and the right muscles. So it's another benefit. That's what you learn from Pilates. Now I want you to stack your hands. Don't interlock them. Stack your hands. Place them behind your head. Now feel your head. Press your head, not forcefully, but press your head into your hands. Make sure your elbows aren't forward. They're nice and wide, and curl it up. Your feet, your heels are together. Your feet are separated, really only 3 fingers. Make sure you're not wide. You want to hug the center of your body. Okay? You're going to lengthen out just a little bit. Now right here, pull the belly in to bring the legs in. Right? This has nothing to do with the legs. So if you're doing this, you could almost hurt your back. You're moving from the wrong muscle. So you want to pull the belly in so much to lift the legs up to center. This doesn't look like much, but if you're doing this and connecting, tell me how deep that is. It feels great. Pull the belly in so much. The legs, you want to paralyze the muscles in your legs. Your legs have nothing to do with this. 3 more. So Pilates is very small and controlled movements. And I'm telling you, way more effective. Hold the legs up and curl up and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release down. Okay, so I'm going to do a beginner crisscross. So you might notice years ago when we were in the gym, this is what we did. We rocked side to side, which has really, you're not working deep enough. So I want us to keep our feet on the floor. And you can watch me first. Stack your hands behind your head. Make sure it's not on your neck. You're going to curl it up. You rotate to the left, but notice I'm not here, right? The left shoulder's off. Stay in the center. Don't drop the back. And rotate to the right. And rotate. So you're wringing out this waist. Talk about losing inches in the waist. This will help you. But it's not this. You're not rocking side to side. Just try that. Twist. Come to center and twist. You're inhaling, exhaling, letting all the breath out. There is a pattern to this, but we can work on that later. I just want you to understand the movement. Make sure you're breathing. Twist it out. Don't drop that back. Feel that burn. 3 more. 3 and 2 and 1. Bring the head down. If you were doing that correctly and understanding, you should really feel a deep burn in your abdominals. And if you didn't, don't feel bad. I didn't when I first started. It took me a little while. So we're going to bring the towel away and let's work our legs. So come up onto your elbows and make sure you're not sinking down like this. You want bring your shoulder blades down your back. Extend your left leg out, and I want you to hug the thighs together. Very important that you're not like locking out your knee joint, and you want a rotation in the hip. So look at your foot and make sure your heel is rotated in and your toe is rotated out. So it's like this. Good. All right. When you're moving, I want you to imagine you have 10-pound ankle weights. You have to make your leg heavy. You're going to lower the leg down, but not all the way, and then lift up. Watch how slow I go. It's like I'm making my leg weigh 100 pounds. You want to forget you have a foot and just connect right here. Good. If you go too low, you might feel some tension in your lower back. So I do have injuries and I don't go all the way down. I'm more focused on the lift. It's like you're working through a jar of honey. Right? My leg is starting to burn right now. 3 more. 3. And this is Pilates, a very controlled movement. 2 And it's hard, and you're not overexerting yourself. You're not, subjecting yourself to any injury. Bring your legs center. Don't go lower than the knee. Circle out a little, come back to center, lift. So small circles. And you want to be conscious of not just one continuous circle. That will cause tension in your hip flexor here, which can lead to back issues. You don't want that. So very small, hug the inner thighs. Okay, let's do 3 more. My leg's burning. 2 and 1. Come to center. Let's reverse it. If you need to take a break, take a break. Take the foot down for a minute and come back up. Okay? Yeah, you should be feeling how deep the muscles are. So now you can recognize the different muscles. These are the tiny muscles. Okay? We have 3 more. 3, oh Lord. 2, I'm shaking, but I'm doing this 6 days a week. And 1, bring the leg down. Shake it out. All right, other side, right leg up, heel in, toe out. Pull your belly in. Stay nice and lifted. And lower lift. Again, imagine your leg is in a jar of honey, or I'm pressing down on your leg. So create the resistance. And I didn't say this before, but working those tiny muscles, you're going to see how lean your body gets. I'm a lot tinier now than I was in my 20s because I bulked up. So that's what I really love about Pilates, the leanness that comes out of it. You lose inches. And 3 more. And it prevents injuries. 2, 1. Hold it up there. Small circles in with a lift. 1. That's it. 3. Make it hard. There's moving and then there's moving. And that's what you learn from taking Pilates classes. It actually reprograms your brain to slow down. It took me 40 years, 38 years, to realize less is more. I don't have to overexert myself to see results. 3 more. Small circles. 2, make sure that knee is soft. And 1, come back to center and reverse it. Good. So I'm counting as I talk on my hand. So with Pilates, 10 sessions, you see a difference. 20, you have a whole new body. If you go on my Instagram account, Pilates by Jodi, last one, and bring your foot down. Those legs should be burning. So if you go on my Instagram account, you're going to see all the feedback that I get from people. It really is true. 20 sessions, you have a brand new strong body. And you want to do this at least twice a week. You can do it more, but at least twice. That's any regimen. Okay, so let's come back up. All right, and let's work the abdominals again. So from here, place your hands behind your head and bring your shoulder blades down. Be very careful. Do not hinge all the way back because I don't want you to get hurt. Just slightly come back. Press your head into your hands. Pull the belly in to come up. So now this is a little harder. But if you understand where the movement's coming from, right in here, you'll be able to do this. Or keep your hands here again. Be mindful, less is more. And 3 more. 3, just hinge back a little. 2, your upper body's not doing the work. And 1, come to center. Okay, I do have to check the time because I have a 10 o'clock. So I want to show you an effective way to plank. I used to plank on all fours, which puts a lot of pressure on the wrists. No need to. So let's lie on our belly and come onto your elbows. Make sure your elbow is directly under your shoulder and you're not out here or into far in. You're gonna make a fist. Bring your fists together. I like to bring my heels together just because I like keeping the center of my body connected. So here, I want you to lift the belly up and hold this. Right here, look at my shoulders. Make sure your shoulder blades are down. And right here, no wings are hanging out. So you don't want to be like this. That will hurt. You'll hurt your back, right? Curl the tailbone up and think of the back of the rib cage reaching up to the ceiling. And you don't want to just hang here. You want to lift that belly up so much. Try to imagine taking all the weight off your elbows. You have to engage here in order to do that. Okay, and let's just hold this here. And look, I'm on my knees. I feel this so much more direct into my core as opposed to coming up onto all fours. But that's just a preference I have. I feel it deeper here. And I'm being safe. I'm not putting any pressure on my wrists or my lower back. Let's hold it for 10 more seconds. 10, 9, 8. Keep reaching that back up. Curl that tailbone. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring the knees in and reach your arms forward. Normally, I like to do 3 sets, or at least 2 to 3 sets, and time yourself for a minute. When you're doing this at home, your goal is a minute, but if you need to take a break, you have to listen to your body. Take a break and come right back up. All right. I want to show you some outer thigh work. God knows this is where my problem is. So we're going to lie on the side of your mat. Very important that you line your back up with the mat as well. Together, bring your legs to the corner of the mat. And this is something I want to point out. So naturally, we want to just let our rib cage lie on the mat. But what that does, you shorten the hip here. I'm going to show you, lift your rib cage up so it's not relaxed, and you're going to see your hips line up. Because if you're here and doing the work, you won't feel it in the right place. This is where form really comes in. You want to lift your rib cage up, and you'll find your hips stacked. Now press your bottom foot into the mat, lift the top leg up. Keep this knee soft. And again, nice and slow and controlled, lower lift the leg. But you're not just lowering and lifting, you're lifting and lengthening out. Try to get this leg longer than the bottom foot. Good. And keep this rib cage lifted. And it's okay, some of us, we all have different shapes and bodies. If your ribs, you don't find that little hole, just consciously make an effort to pull your rib cage up. It doesn't have to look perfect, just so you're not relaxed. And hopefully you understand that. And let's do 3 more. Here, you should feel it right here. A lot of times we lead movements from our feet or from our hands. They take over the movements. You have to kind of just forget you have a foot. Put your mind on this muscle. Come halfway. Small circles back. Now, what's hard about this is your body may want to sway. You got to pull your belly in so much to stabilize the hips. So a lot of Pilates is stabilization. Sometimes you're not moving, and it's so hard because you're trying to use your muscles to stabilize. That's it. 3 more. You should feel that burn right about now. 2 more. And 1. And reverse it. Forward, back, nice and small and controlled. You gotta imagine you have ankle weights on. Don't let the leg drop. I know I'm doing a lot of talking, but there's teaching and then there's teaching, right? I don't want to just dictate and do moves and you follow me without understanding. The goal is to get into your mind and make you understand how to move. It really makes a difference. I hope you're finding this. 3 more. 3. 2. I don't know about you, my leg is burning. And 1. Bring that knee down for a stretch. Right? It's so simple, but so hard. Come on up. We're going to come to the other side. And I'm just showing you the basics. Okay. Line your body up with the mat. Bring your legs to the corner and pull this rib cage up. Nice and lifted. Stack those hips up. Press your bottom foot into the mat. Soften the knee and lower lift. There you go. I normally teach on reformer. Obviously, mat is the foundation, but I have to say mat is much harder. So I'm seeing more results with mat, and I have to keep this up once our studio's open because I was only teaching mat once a week. and myself not practicing enough, to be honest. I tend to stay on the reformer, but that has changed. Come halfway down, small circles back, right? Get the length in your hip. Four, that's it. But into the mat, that'll help you stabilize. You could also press your hand into the mat, that helps. And I can't see you right now, but normally in a class, I'll watch you and correct your alignment and then reverse it. And it takes practice. If I gave up, I'd never be here by now. I would have never changed my career. So that's the way I look at it. It's a journey. The more you understand Pilates, actually, the harder it gets. 3 more, 3 and 2 and 1. Bring that knee down and pat it out. All right, let's come up. I'm just going to check the time. Okay, so I do want to show you a little bit of arm work. I won't be able to go through all of it, but I don't even use weights anymore because I do go to the gym to use weights, but I stopped that now that we're home. So when I'm teaching Pilates, my arms got cut just by creating resistance. And again, this is the method. So I want you to hug your legs together, reach your arms out. If you want to challenge yourself, you can lean back and incorporate the abs. But if you're not used to this, I recommend staying a little lifted. And I want you to do a bicep curl. You see how I'm moving? It's as if my hand is pressing against your arms. And now you're resisting in and resisting out. I can't believe that my arms got cut. Create that resistance and feel it deep. This is the method of Pilates. It's just different. Let's do 3 more. 3, 2. Last one. And out. And let's get a nice stretch. Sit up nice and tall. I always stretch at the end of class. I don't have time for that today, but I do want to show you spine stretch because this feels really good. I want you to watch me do it wrong and then do it right. So our arms are out, shoulder blades down. A lot of people, this is wrong. Just reach forward and collapse down their rib cage. The right move to feel it in your spine. I mean, that's a great stretch too, but to feel it in your spine, the reason why it's called spine stretch forward, you pull your rib cage and belly in, just the top part of your back. You look down and reach forward. Just, if you notice, it's just the top part of my back, not my entire body. And then you can reach a little bit more. But it's like I'm pulling on your rib cage back and you're reaching out, reaching out, reaching out. And stack up the spine one more time. Reach forward, pull the belly in. Keep your hips, your sit bones, your butt bones anchored on that mat. Pull the rib cage back. This should feel nice. And again, one last time, reaching forward, looking down at the mat. And sit up. Okay, so that's all the time I have today. If you guys, let me see. I have maybe a few minutes if you want to take yourself off mute and ask me some questions. If not, I hope you enjoyed this. I do teach Pilates every morning at 10 a.m. And now I added a 6 p.m. for those that have meetings that interrupt their day. I get it. So I added a 6 p.m. Monday and Wednesday. If you're interested in joining, you can send me an email. It's Pilates by Jodi, and that's spelled Pilates Jodi @gmail.com, or find me on Instagram, Pilates by Jodi. That might be easier, and send me a message. Once I have your email, I can send you all the instructions. I believe I see 4 comments. Thank you. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this. And this was just a really beginner, basic class. My classes are 55 minutes long. I show modifications. I have to modify myself. I consider myself advanced at the education level that I have, but I modify because it's not worth doing a move that works against my injury or my body. And that's something you learn. Doing something incorrect one time isn't going to hurt you. Doing it repetitively incorrect is going to, bother your body. And that's what's really important. So even if you don't take my classes, find a Pilates studio once we open up in your area. It is worth the investment. I can't stress it enough. I wouldn't be in it. I'm not in it for the money, obviously. I make less than I used to. But I'm in it because I believe in it. I know it works. And we are going to get older one day. I hate to admit it. But taking care of yourself now keeps you out of the doctors, and strong. You won't have any problems when you get older. You won't have to hire anybody to do your housework. So that's my 2 cents. And I hope you enjoyed this and hope to see you soon. If you aren't, again, email me, find me on Instagram, Pilates by Jodi. And I look forward to maybe meeting some of you. Okay? Have a great day and stay safe. Oh, I guess I'll